Hello buddy, welcome back to another episode of Just So I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we finished off the blacksmith quest line, and today we're going to go and begin, or in any case continue, you know. Basically begin the armor quest line. Ah, Lynn, I take it you're now intimate with every aspect of the bronze ingots production. Good, then you can assist us in a pressing matter. It seems that one of our younger members, Swithin, accepted an order which he would struggle to fulfill in thrice the time he promised. While I am tempted to let him squeal under the weight of his own ambition, the guild is not in the habit of delivering late. Several veteran armorers have volunteered their services, but I would also like you to assist in this matter. On the one hand, you'll be helping to spare the guild unnecessary embarrassment, and on the other, you will be deepening your understanding of the craft. The builder could not have planned it better. For your part in this endeavor, you are to craft 3 bronze hoplons. You'll need bronze plates and a maple lumber to make the shields. While we're on the subject, how have you been acquiring your materials? The markets are a reliable source, but have you considered making an arrangement with a miner or botanist? As you will have gleaned, the craft calls for a near constant supply of copper and tin, both of which are commonly mined in the regions of Thanalan. Should your purse grow too light for comfort, there's little to stop you taking up a pickaxe yourself. For the time being, however, I want you to concentrate on honing your skills as an armorer. With the fundamentals under your belt, hoplons shouldn't prove too challenging. But do not fall into the trap of complacency. The cat is back. A poor wrought shield is worse than no shield at all. Each piece you craft, however, simple, must reflect the utmost attention to detail. Make the guild proud, Lynn. Alright. Bronze hoplons. Let's see. These ones over here. I'm gonna need a heck of an amount of freaking bronze. I'm going to need... let's make 3, so that would be 6 plates, which would be 12 ingots. Here we are again. I've seen this person the entire day. Which is kind of interesting. The cat is back. And she's attacking my microphone. And now she's putting her claws in my freaking legs. Ouchies. Whatever, I guess. This is my life now. Little lady. Yeah. And you know it. Ow! My leg. Alright, here she comes. Oh, here she comes. Ready to go and sit on my lap. Right, so now I'm going to need 3 pieces of maple lumber. It's a good thing that I can do these things while not particularly moving. Well, just with one hand, really. Because now I have a different hand on that cat. You know, this is kind of a dream, though, in a certain way. Having a cat just on your... like, I'm sorry, but like being able to play a game while having a cat on your lap, it's kind of a dream come true. But at the same time, for recordings it's a little bit annoying, because she gets a little bit in the way. I'll fail you with your task. Do you have those 3 hoplons for me? Proceed. Impressive, you've managed to balance the conflicting requirements of sturdiness and portability, much as you balanced hardness and malleability in your first task. The bronze plate is securely fitted and should weather the most vicious blows without becoming dislodged. And importantly, your work was swift and sure. Many an armorer has lost a sale due to late delivery. And rightly so. A customer's need for armor is invariably pressing, and its absence alike to be sorely felt. Given the stakes, a reputation for reliability can mean handsome profits, especially at a time when the Maelstrom is seeking armorers to outfit its ever-expanding ranks. It is all we can do to keep pace with the Grand Company's orders for equipment, and that is why every member of our guild must support the next, much as the warriors of Eld supported their fellows in the phalanx with their shields. Though you have but recently begun your training, a woman of your natural talents belongs on the front line. I think the time has come for you to learn the use of another weapon in the armorer's arsenal. Specifically pliers. Take this pair and use them in combination with your hammer. It will feel strange at first, but persist and you will find that your work proceeds a damn sight more smoothly. When you think you've mastered the pliers, I want to see the result of your dedication. Until then, Lynn. This cat really likes nibbling on cables. And it's really bad. And she also likes to fart. So that's fun. Ah, Lynn, just the last I was hoping to see. I have a new initiate that has near exhausted my reserves of patience, and I think she would benefit from seeing the result of a peer's dedication and skill, specifically yours. Her name is Grenay, and build or help me, she's the most distracted, fumble-fingered craftswoman ever to lift a hammer. If she could but learn to forge the simplest of items without constant supervision, I would consider it a rare victory. It is unfortunate that Beauregard did not see fit to invest all of my armorers with your innate talents. But I suppose we must all start somewhere, and if I abandoned every initiate that was slow to grasp a technique, our guild would have been a total of what, 9 members? Perhaps 10? I jest, but it would be few enough for our clients in the Maelstrom to have to share breastplates. What are you doing, cat? What are you doing? No! Stop! You're destroying my stuff! So what say you, Lynn? You need only craft a dozen sheets of bronze plate to supplement Grenay's own. Do not. No, I told you no. No. When will you learn? That your actions have consequences, cat. Ah, fuck. It's just like slipped and then it's like gripped in my chest. Oh, I'm gonna be full of wounds. I'm gonna be full of wounds and my nostrils will be filled with the smell of cat farts. Man, am I right? When you are ready, I want you to deliver them to the last in person. Mayhap your example will inspire her to take more care with her work. Okay, so now I need 12 sheets of bronze plate? Jesus. Okay. Let's go and buy, you know, just 99 more copper. And I guess the same amount of fucking tin. Whatever. I'm going to need 24 pieces of bronze. Come on, cat. Come on. Choose your place to sit. Yeah? Just choose a place to sit. It's simple. Just find a place to settle down and just stay there. And we'll give you all the attention that you want. As long as you just sit in one place. Ah! Stop ruining my shirt. Yeah? What better way to spend your time recording videos than fighting a cat? Well, fighting is a big word. More like, you know. Finding a way to live with a cat. Day 2. Living with a cat in your room, day 2. Things you won't always be in my room, but... There we go, she left of her own volition. And then she just straight up comes back. What the hell is wrong with her? She leaves, goes on the couch, and then she comes back. Nope. I told you. Illegal. No. Stop. No. How difficult is it for you to accept the reality, milady? Nope. No, no, no. You're not gonna extend your claws on my freaking thing. The last cat that did that made a fucking scar in my freaking mouse mat. And now you're gonna fall off again and then extend your nails to grab hold of something and then fucking stab me again. Good God. Lower quality. No. Hello? Stop it, please. Oh, you must be Lynn. The guildmaster told me you'd be... Wait. Where did I put my hammer? Ah, there it is. Sorry, what were you saying? Right, yes. I would be most grateful for the extra sheets of bronze plate. Son of a cat. The thing is, she just sees my hand extend onto my freaking desk, and then she's like, I need that hand. You will give me all of that hand and more. Right. God, did you craft these yourself? Why, they're absolutely... Whoa, nearly dropped them. No harm done, though. As I was saying, I can certainly see the Forge Masters... Why the Forge Master speaks so highly of your work. The bronze is the perfect color and thickness, so I assume you carefully measured out the amounts of tin and copper. I always add too much tin. Did you know metal can shatter? Ah! Help! Well, I did it, truth be told. I've tended to put all my efforts into making the armor itself, rather than bothering with the base material. I hope... I mean, compared to hammering out glorious winged helms or ornate greaves, measuring out metals just seemed so trivial. But looking at your work, I'm beginning to wonder. I never realized how beautiful a simple sheet of bronze could be. With materials like this, just imagine the sturdy, shiny suits of armor one might create. Don't! What are you doing, cat? It seems I've been putting the cart before the chocobo. From this moment onwards, I swear to focus all my attention and care on the task at hand. Even if the task at hand is forging bronze ingots. What of you, Lynn? Do you have any grand projects waiting for you on the anvil? I overheard some of the senior armorers boasting about the coin they made through tradecraft levies. Might that be something you'd consider? They say it's mockery over at the Drowning Wench is the one to talk to, and that's where I'll be headed once I improve my technique. Now, where did I put that hammer? Eh. I'll be right back, by the way. Alright, I am back with the cat still here. I'm just gonna try to find a way to have it so that this cat can sit on my lap, and then I can just continue doing my stuff. She's gonna have to learn that I'm not always gonna give her attention. Where have you been, Lynn? There's some work to be done. I need you to speak with another novice, a lass by the name of Dristwida. I was due a barboo and a buckler from her a few bells ago, but I find myself standing here with nary a nose guard. Lest you wonder, Dristwida is nothing like Renee. She's as dedicated to the craft as you are, and I've never known her to miss a delivery. Something must be amiss, and I need to find out what. I'd go and ask her myself, but I fear my usual approach would do more harm than good. The lass might be built like a stack of anvils, but she flinches at the merest hint of criticism. That's why I've decided to assign you as Dristwida's supervisor for this job. I'm counting on you to sort this out, Lynn. A pleasure to meet you, miss. I'm sorry the Forge Master had to interrupt your work so that you might assist me with mine. I do hope you're not angry. I don't know if I could endure another dressing down. As pathetic as it sounds, that's actually the reason. My delivery is late. I just can't bring myself to work. I'm sorry, I should start from the beginning. A short while ago, I received a visit from an armorer by the name of Blansteer. He is one of the Old Guard, a true veteran of the guild. But after a single glance at the armor I made, he yelled at that my work wasn't fit to cover a kobold's arse. And now I cannot banish the scene from my mind. His face twisted in anger, those scornful words. Am I really so talentless? The shame, it paralyzed me. If he had explained the flaws in my work, I might endeavor to correct them. But I couldn't bring myself to speak to him. Or to anyone else, for that matter. Not until now. Might you speak with Blanster on my behalf? I would know the reason behind this reprimand. I am Blanster. If you're looking for an armor with skill and integrity, you found them. What are you after then? Nah? Well, no, it's a misread dressed the way it does work. One of the guild's newer faces, are you? All these whelps trained under Hananza get their heads filled with daft, bloody notions of cooperation and camaraderie, when what they should be learning is how to use a pair of pliers. I've yet to meet one of our novices as could forge an ingot worth a damn. And them as ain't got the skill ain't worth me time, which means you, girl, now bugger off. Not budging, eh? Worrisome wench. Alright then, tell you what, I'll give you one chance to prove yourself. Let's see you craft the same piece as your friend made such a meal of. A decorated bronze barboot and a bronze buckler. It were. And if they're half decent, we'll have ourselves a nice little chat. Right, so... A decorated bronze barboot and a bronze buckler. Okay. Let's go and make... not this decorated thing, is that? Okay. So I do need to make a bronze barboot. Just lots of bronze, really. Lots of frickin' bronze. I'm just gonna make like 10 of these. Right. Now. First a bronze barboot, which is bronze rivets and bronze plate. So let's go and make a plate. And then some rivets. And then I'm also going to need a copper ingot. Right, let's begin with the bronze barboot. Bronze buckler, which means a bronze plate and some iron rivets. What a freaking day, though. Jesus. At least the cat has managed to settle down a little bit, and there she goes. Problem is that I don't really have that much space, in general, like movement space, in my recording setup, so it's kind of difficult to keep a cat on my lap. Unless if I shove her underneath my desk, which would be not the best. Copper and brass. There we go. Alright, Sir Blanster. Back at last, are you? I was beginning to think you'd crawled off to Old Dot to buy the damn things from a back alley peddler. Anyway, let's have a look, shall we? Bugger me, are you sure you made these yourself? Huh. Since at least one of Hananza's whelps knows the difference betwixt hammer and sledge. Builder, take me, you have some talent, lass. This barboo shows well the character of your work, precise and uncompromising as it should be. You've realized that fortune held made the matter of slapping a few molded sheets of bronze together. Nice. And your buckler's just as good. Small and light, but a damn sight sturdier than shield twice the size. Didn't expect to be saying this, but I'm impressed with this level of quality and polish. You could make a tidy living for yourself as an artisan. But you're the exception as proves the rule, lass. Fact is, the other novices ain't fit to lick your boots, Restweeda included, so you tolerate this from me. If you've the time to wallow in wounded tears, you've got time to examine your own mistakes. There's no room in this world for craftsmen as can't criticize their own handiwork. So learn how to gauge your failings and correct them, or hang up your bloody hammer. Or hang up my bloody hammer. Well, thank you for passing on Blanster's advice. I believe I understand what he meant to say. But not everyone has the inner fortitude to endure such criticism, be it from oneself or from others. If such strength is required to master the armorer's art, then mayhap I have mistaken my calling. I joined the guild with the dream of following in Hananza's footsteps, but I see now that was folly. I should have to think long and hard about my aspirations. Please convey my apologies to the Forge Master for the delay. So it was Blanster that caused this mess. The old bastard always did take it upon himself to weed out the weaker initiates. We're not exactly on the best of terms, he and I, even after all this time. I've known Blanster since we were naught but wide-eyed novices, serving our apprenticeships under the same master. We always had our differences, but when our master retired, they became that much more stark. And when we both put ourselves forward for the role of Forge Master, the resulting contest drove a permanent wedge between us. Blanster's arguments are not entirely without merit, but neither is his approach the only way to train new armors. For that damnable curmudgeon, though, it's his way or no way at all. The idea of nurturing aught less than God's given talent is anathema to him, and his ears wax deaf at the mere mention of it. But outfitting an army is the work of more than a talented few, it is the work of many hands acting in unison. I've turned a blind eye to Blanster's behavior until now, but if he would threaten the unity of this guild, something must needs be done. I will think on it. Ferulin, have you had any further dealings with Blanster? If so, I do hope his bile has not begun to wear away at your better judgment. Lest you think me unjust, I do not dispute his skill with a hammer. I merely take issue with the lack of respect he shows to those he deems inferior. He is responsible for breaking the spirits of more than a few novice armorers, and our ranks suffer for it. But I cannot in good conscience remove his name from the guild register. For all his flaws, Blanster's knowledge and experience would be too great a loss. Instead, I must find a way to soften the old buzzard's stance, and for that I require your assistance. He will not unfold his thoughts to me, but mayhap he will to you. Don't look so surprised, you're one of the few armorers in this place whom he wouldn't see cast out. He may possess all the charm of a rabbit curl, but he does have a fine eye for talent, and an appreciation for well-crafted goods. Take him one of your best iron hoplons, and I dare say he'll share his thoughts with you. Ah, but I should warn you. Some Rib has informed me that we scarcely have sufficient iron plates to cover our existing commissions, so you will have to look elsewhere. Parker's Alley will most certainly have what you need, or there is always the option of mining it yourself. Either way, I apologize for putting you to additional trouble. One last thing, I want you to melt materia to the finished shields. That should get the old salt's attention. Your vacant stare does not inspire confidence, Lynn. In brief, materia is the crystallized essence of a well-worn piece of equipment. Such crystals are attached to other gear to enhance various properties. If you would know more, you should consider paying Mutamix a visit at his camp in Central Thailand. He will teach you about the process of enhancing equipment using materia. Oh, and he's a goblin. Now the shield you craft must embody all the knowledge and skill you have gained thus far. The sight of it should serve to convince Blanster that you are a like-minded soul, and prompt him to speak to you as such. Good luck, Lynn. May the builder's hand guide you. Or just may the builder guide you. Whatever. Iron hop on. I'm going to need 2 iron plates. Whoopsie. I'm going to add this to my favorites. So that would mean 4 iron ingots. And then a piece of elm lumber. It's this freaking huge ass saw. I swear. I like how she puts it over there, but then puts it on her back. It's interesting. Yeah. In general, interesting. And let's go and just grab a random piece of materia. And melt that quick arm stuff. I don't care. It's not actually going to increase his stat, but who cares? It's just for the quest anyway. What do you want? Tananza have you running errands again? What's this? Brought me a shield, have you? With materia. Impressive. But don't imagine a bit of materia. Materia is enough to make up for shoddy workmanship. I ain't the kind to be blind by sparklies, lass. Now, let's have a closer look. Bugger me. It's when they make the step up from bronze to iron that the weaker craftsmen start to show their limitations. The metal being a damn sight harder to shape, all manner of flaws creep into their work. But there ain't a single bleeding one in this shield. Your hammer blows were steady and measured. And you've kept the thickness of the iron nice and even too. No bugger wants a shield splitting in half because the armor beat a bit of the plate too thin. A fine piece of work, this. Damn fine. That's twice you've passed me inspection now. I'm convinced. You have the kind of skill as the man's respect, lass. So, as one artisan to another, let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts on Conanda's handling of the guild? I know you ain't been with us for long, but you must have wondered what you was playing at, am I right? If you ask me, the soft-hearted wench is polluting the damn place with blundering amateurs with our armours in not but name. An armourer crafts gear as keeps men alive. If you like the skill or the experience to make armour as'll do the job, you've no business holding a hammer. Just imagine what had happened if a breastplate made by one of them like which fell apart in battle. And not just to the poor bastard wearing it either. I'm talking about what's become of the guild's good name. The way Nanza entrusts these novices with a real craftsman's work, she's spitting in the face of the builder. Only a tried and true armourer should be taken on orders and dealing with valiant patrons. They're refusing to get rid of the drakes, and Nanza's dampening the flames in our forges. Forge master my arse. How can she be so bloody blind? Quest complete. And there you are. Ah, there you are. Tell me, were you able to prize anything useful out of Brandsteer? What do you have to say? Dampening the flames in our forges. Familiar refrain, that stubborn old sod will never understand why his way is doomed to fail. Not that he's ever even thought to question it. That was the cutest thing I've ever heard. Sorry, that was my cat just made the cutest noise ever. If we choose not to pass on our knowledge, all of the technique and methods we've perfected over gods knows how long are destined to perish along with us. Brandsteer bemoans the dampening of our forge's flames, while advocating a course which would only see them extinguished altogether. And that is why I will continue to expose all of our initiates to as many facets of the craft as I can, until such time as I die or am replaced, or whatever, yeah, sorry, I thought there was going to be more. I may add that you yourself stand as a shining example of how effective this approach can be. I'll not force the issue, but you'd make the perfect champion for my cause. That said, Brandsteer has apparently come to much the same conclusion. He submitted an order that asked for you by name. The order is for a single steel ingot, but being the difficult boss that he is, he doesn't just want any steel ingot, he wants an ingot of the purest steel, and that'll require extra effort on your part. We will not keep you any longer. You've work to do and a cantankerous artisan to impress. Right, so now a high quality steel ingot. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna be right back because I need to drink something. Alright. And that's why I'm back. Here to deliver that ingot, lass. I ain't one for idle chit-chat. The weight feels right. Let's head inside and have a look, shall we? Haha, I knew you were up to the task, lass. You can't forge steel much purer than that. It's a common enough material, of course, and one no self-respecting armorer should have any trouble working with. But it's the quality of these common materials that makes the difference between crafting a workaday piece and a masterpiece. No matter how shiny you polish it, your work will never be more than mediocre if the stuff you make it from is second rate. Any road, I can see you've already learned that lesson. I swear, every time our paths cross, you're twice the armorer as you was before. And yet Hinanza has a talented lass like you, like yourself, tidying up after her bungling bloody novices instead of giving you the freedom to master your craft. Makes me blood boil, it does. For guilds to survive, it's gotta be able to serve its customers' needs. Any buggerers don't contribute to keeping the roof over our heads don't deserve to work under it. I've not but respect for you, Lynn. You're the kind of armorer this guild needs more of. But tell me true, are you really content to waste your career wiping the arses of Ananza's squalling babes? Your talent's being buried under a mountain of mediocrity, and it's time you did something about it. As to what, well, that's for you to decide. Ah, Lynn, the woman whose name is on everyone's lips. In case you didn't know, the entire guild seems to be holding its breath, waiting to see which side you'll come down on. The popular opinion is that you're ready to take up with Brandsteer. I have no such concerns, of course. Had you resolved to distance yourself from me, we would not be having this conversation. But that does not change the fact that your allegiance remains a subject of public debate, one which threatens the unity of the guild. I propose you dispel our colleagues' unfounded anxiety by demonstrating your affiliation in a matter that none may doubt or dispute. Specifically, I would have you accept the commission of a valued client on my behalf. That, I think, would serve as proof of both my faith in you and of your support for the guild's present course. Tell me, would you like to try your hand at crafting a suit of steel chainmail? The order comes from a resident of Costa del Sol, an extremely wealthy and discerning gentleman who will accept nothing less than the finest quality armory. As you may imagine, his patronage is of great value to the guild. I need hardly add that I would not mistrust this commission to an armorer in whom I had not less than the utmost faith. The client's maidservant, Norterwhip, will supply you with the finer details of the order. She should be here in the city, conducting business at the Fisherman's Guild as we speak. Why the Fisherman's Guild? But why? Why you have to be mad? It's just game. One of my favorite pieces of internet footage. So pure. Greetings and salutations. What an honor it is to meet another of Lim's famed artisans. I'm sorry, commission. Oh dear, seems to be some confusion. I have already entrusted my master's commission to a veteran craftsman of your esteemed organization. You are acquainted with Bronsteer? His reputation precedes him, you see, and I saw little reason to doubt that a man of his experience should be assigned the task. Oh, but I do not mean to suggest that you... I merely sought to justify my own misapprehension. Regrettable though the situation may be, I would hesitate to shame your colleague by stripping him of his commission, given all the sterling work he has done for us in the past, I mean. Yet I can well imagine that you are loath to return to your superior empty-handed. Assuming the finished armor is of exceptional quality, my master will provide full remuneration regardless of the hand that forges the links. Mayhap it would be best for all concerned if you discuss the matter with your fellow armorer. And then we go back to Bronsteer. Well, if it ain't Hananza's lapdog, I heard about your little show of allegiance. I suppose Northwhip told you I snatched that commission from right under your nose, did she? Seems we've got ourselves a thorny little predicament, don't I? Or seems I don't know. Well, I ain't about to hand the job back to you on a silver bleeding platter, but that don't mean I don't want to give up. I don't mean I want you to give up neither. Don't you see? This is the perfect chance to find out who's the better armorer, to see which of us has walked the right and proper path. I'm talking about a contest of skill, girl. Whichever of us crafts the finer suited chainmail gets the job. But remember, this bloke pays good coin for a reason. He wants the best, and he ain't about to settle for less. Not that he'll have it. Not that he have to, of course. Your armor need to be bloody flawless to be better than mine. So our mate will be getting his money's worth, whatever happens. Once you're ready, bring your armor back here, and we'll lay it out next to mine. We've both got our pride, so I reckon we can judge the result fairly ourselves. Now back off. Let's see. Steel chainmail? Yep. Okay, steel rings times 3. I'm gonna run out of steel in the not so distant future, which is a little bit annoying, but at the same time, it's not particularly a super difficult thing to get, so... Right. Steel rings. 3 of them, please. And then some of my favorite things to craft. Frickin' velveteen. Oh, velveteen. Annoying thing to craft. Well, it's just a dew thread that's annoying. Because the only way to get it is by killing mobs. You can only get a dynamite whip from killing enemies. It's in general very annoying having to kill enemies in this game. Because it's an MMO, you cannot just like grind it yourself. Sometimes there's other people around you. And then, you know, a fight ensues, people die. No. But it is still a pain in the butt in my opinion. Even like regardless of like being the MMO and like having other people sometimes want the same items as you. Outside of that, it's also just annoying having to deal with the RNG chance of getting it. And as a crafter, having to go out of your way to get stuff is really annoying. Well, pressure too much for your last, or have you finally finished putting that chainmail together? Right then, let's have a look, shall we? By Byragal's beard, where'd you learn to forge lengths like that? It's bloody perfect. Rogan himself would struggle to stick a dagger to that steel, and look at that luster. Strength and beauty equal godsend measure. And also should be praising the builder for dropping a gift like yourself in her lap. You won fair and square, Lynn. I'll not bother to lecture you no more. I'll take your beauteous bloody chainmail to Northwood myself and let her know who it was as crafted it. That's an old tradition among us armorers, in case you didn't know. Loser of these contests gets a job at delivering the victor's goods. Bah, gloat while you can, lass. You just joined Hananza at the top of my list. This ain't over, not by a long shot. And I'm back to the other side. It's the dumbest shit. Greetings, then. I hear where you bested Plantier in Armorer's contest of skill, an impressive feat, and one of which you should be proud. But I'm afraid you've made a most troublesome enemy, for he is both persistent and vindictive, as you well know. I speak from bitter experience in that matter. Rather than dwell on this unpleasant rivalry, however, I would have you focus on your craft. Steady your hammer and pliers, Lynn. There is much and more to be done. Or to do, whatever. Master Linskith over at Bismarck has commissioned a new steel frying pan, and, as one might expect from the head of the Culinarians Guild, he accepts only the finest of wares. Now, compared to pining out thick, protective plates of armor, cooking utensils, being generally smaller and lighter, requires a somewhat more delicate touch. You must bring all of your concentration to bear, lest you risk ruining the entire piece with a single misplaced blow. In light of recent events, which have no doubt left your mind scattered, I believe a task that fully engages your faculties will prove beneficial. Let us not keep Master Linskith waiting, Lynn. To the forge with you. Steel frying pan. Wow, that's a couple of levels higher. Steel plate and oak lumber. Hey, would you look at that? It's the final bit of steel that I have. That's steel plate. And then some lumber that I did not register. Oak lumber, okay. And time to make the steel frying pan. Come on. This person's looking at me. Yep. What is the fry pan, Lynn? Is it true that you are no longer some rank novice? Wait, what? It is true that you're, yeah, right. But do not think your posterior is safe from the toe of my boot if you choose to dither and dally. Truly another consummate work. I can find no flaw with its weight or balance. It is so heavy. It is not so heavy as to be a struggle to lift, yet it remains sturdy enough to endure the frantic pace of the Bismarck's kitchen. I trust at this junction that you comprehend in full my earlier warning. To produce a fry pan of this quality would most certainly have required your undivided attention, and I can tell this item received just that. The consistency of the metal's thickness is all the evidence one needs. This type of precision should not be undervalued. In this case, should the fry pan be poorly forged, the heat of its cooking surface will be uneven, and such flaws are unacceptable to an exacting culinarian such as Master Linskith. Or Lingsaf, whatever. Even the sturdiest of utensils, however, rarely lasts him more than a few seasons. It's a struggle to find armorers who can meet his demanding specification when he turns to our guild for replacements. I had long intended to assign this commission to you, but your encounter with Bronsteer had me doubting your ability to concentrate. This is one of those rare occasions when I am happy to be proven wrong. Your uncompromising attention to detail continues to be an inspiration to your colleagues. Ah, and speaking of details, there's one that remains untended. Delivering this fry pan into Master Lingsaf's hands. I trust you do not need directions to the Culinarians Guild. Alright, I guess we're going to the Culinarians Guild then. So I can walk away from that dude looking at Lynn. How dare he? Come to deliver my new frying pan, have you? Well, now ain't she a beaut. With this pan I'll be able to whip up all sorts of dishes and not fret about burning the middle or cooking the edges. You said this was your work? Only the Forge Master herself has ever been able to make utensils what I'd consider worthy of the Bismarck. Seems like I finally got me another craftswoman I can trust. You're welcome in my kitchen anytime, lass. Right. And that, my friends, is going to end out this episode of Just Set. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Just Set. I was playing Final Fantasy XIV. And next episode, we're just going to continue with the Armorer's quest, and then afterwards go over to Ul'dah to probably begin our Goldsmith quest. Oh boy. Is this correct? Yes? Are you doing a good thing, cat? Anyway, goodbye.